This is Corey Willis with PPEI, and you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
I'm Adam Blattenberg from Diesel World.
This is Dan, owner of D&J Diesel Performance.
I'm Braden Fleece, and you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
What is going on, Diesel Nation? We're excited to have you guys with us today on the Diesel Podcast. I'm really excited for today's episode. You guys know by the title, or if you're watching it on YouTube, the picture of the truck is we have WhistlinDiesel on today. And right now they're sitting at Dan's Diesel Performance. And Dan Clark, Danny Voss are going to be chatting with the guys and asking them, why did they make a YouTube channel? Where do they find the trucks, get the creativity for the builds? And what kind of feedback do they get from their fans and just people on the internet with some of the things that they do? It's going to be a really exciting episode. So I'm going to kick this on over to Dan and Danny. You guys take it away. And we're all looking forward to hearing what you guys talk about with the crew from WhistlinDiesel.
What's going on, Diesel Nation? This is Dan, owner of D&J Diesel Performance.
This is Danny Voss.
We're coming at you live from the DDP Media Room here in Machesney Park, Illinois. Today we have Cody, who's also known as WhistlinDiesel on YouTube and Instagram, with us today. We've got a series of questions that we're going to ask him, find out who he is and what he does, and all sorts of cool stuff. So, Cody, it's nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
So,
hey, you forgot about his wingman that he brought.
Yeah, we also have Clayton, who helps with stuff and
you just do everything. You
Filming,
just do everything.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
whatever he tells me.
So yeah, we see you in the videos sometimes.
Yeah, on top of or under the trucks holding the camera.
Yeah, been on top of Frank.
Oh yeah. So Cody, you want to tell people who you are and where you came from?
Yeah. So, a lot of people don't know. I guess my name is Cody. I don't have that in my bio. So, some guy called me Ricky or Freddie the other day. It's just Cody. So, but I was born in, raised in Argus, Indiana. So it's like a small 500 person town. Then there's a bunch of Amish around us. I don't know if you have Amish here, but.
Oh yeah, we got quite a few in Wisconsin.
We got 4 people on our square mile and 4 houses, 4 farms. 3 of those are Amish, so the 4th one's us. So yeah, just out in the country, and it's like 40 minutes to a decent sized town. If you want to eat somewhere, there's like Taco Bell and Arby's and Wendy's, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, I did construction with my dad after school and whatnot whenever he needed help. I was there, so whether or not I wanted to be. And then after I graduated, started doing construction full-time until I was 21, or 20. So I did roofs and remodels and all that, and new houses. Mm-hmm.
So now you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so why did you create a YouTube channel? And
mostly because I wanted to quit construction. Mm-hmm. I hated that. Because if you're raising something, you kind of, it gets old, I guess, after. Because, if your dad's teaching you how to do stuff, it's like, so after 4 years of that, I was ready to get out. So it's like, I watched Street Speed 717. He does like car stuff. So, and he got a Duramax. So I used to like bow hunt a lot. And I had a Volkswagen Jetta. Of course, you can't haul deer in that unless you throw them on the roof. So I sold the car to get the truck right after I married my wife at 18, and then ended up getting a Duramax a little bit after that. So I sold the Jetta, and then I wanted to make it look cool. Like on the Jetta, I had a bunch of those cheap AutoZone underglow and everything Velcroed under the hood to spruce her up a little bit. But so I got that white Duramax for way overpriced at some dealer. Completely got me on that one. But so I wanted to like off-road with it and stuff. So I didn't really know anything about trucks or anything. So I watched Street Speed's video. He had like off-roading in it and stuff like that. So I started watching his stuff, and then I heard that you could make a living doing that. So that was kind of my goal ever since I watched his stuff. I'd every video the second it was out, I'd watch it, and so I tried my best for a little bit. I tried to make videos, and then I just I gave it up after a while because I didn't notice many viewers, and I was kind of copying him. I didn't really know what I was doing, so I kind of gave up. And then after, I think there was one time I just got really bored, so I started making this 5 types of truck guys video, and then I checked on that about a year later, and I was like, wow, I made $10 on that. That was pretty good. So that kind of came from there, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was just going through some of your videos, like the very first video you had of some deer hunting.
Yeah.
You had like 34,000 views from
right.
that.
And it had 12 before all this started,
Yeah.
so it was like, yeah, you can see it progress. So I'm glad I have those old videos too.
Mhm.
There's ones older than that too, but they're not on YouTube yet. I was like 7.
Then you got one video that's got over 9 million views,
Right.
which is the quad with the spiked wheels.
That was an
it.
accident. Didn't expect that. Yeah.
I also want to congratulate you for everything that you've accomplished in the social media world. It's truly amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, people can only dream to have the numbers and the, following that you have. And anybody listening to this needs to check you out. Absolutely, because you're a freaking nutcase. But it's entertainment, and people are absolutely just falling over for your videos. They're just wondering what in the heck you're going to do next.
Yeah. I guess it's just daily for us now. Like Clayton, the other day, usually we don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Every day it's something different. Like people ask what my plan is. I have a long-term plan, but not a short-term plan at all. We got a whiteboard and we write down everything we can think of on there. And we come out the next morning and it's like, well, that won't work and that won't work, so we have nothing to do today. Well, it's like we could just, Clayton says, well, we'll take the backhoe out and we'll flip over the truck today. I was like, okay. So we just went out and flipped it over.
Yeah, I show up every day and never know what's going to happen.
Just riding by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun than construction, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So are you guys coming up with these ideas like when you're drinking, when you're chilling, or
Not
do they just hit
like
you naturally? Or?
Actually, we don't have, we live out in the middle of nowhere, but not there's some people around. But we don't, get together and, since we're together at work all day, it's not, we might stay late and drink a little bit, but it's not we don't have that very often. It's just kind of
We usually just come up as we go.
Yeah,
throughout the
we're
day.
bolting spacers on, and we're like, well, what would happen if we bolted this on while we're, we just kind of come up with it. I don't know. We don't have a short-term plan really.
Your imagination, though, there's probably stretch marks on it if you gave it an MRI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's some days it's like, well, Clayton, if you want to just clean the garage for 4 hours while I'm thinking here. And I got a list on my phone. It's 1,600 pages long of stuff that might work or might not, and we just kind of build off of that. So, yeah, it's definitely. I don't think I'll run out ever, but it's hard to actually, from beginning to end, to turn that into a video that works, because you can't just take anything and make a video out of it. It's got to be something that can last a little bit and is entertaining. Sure, I can go out and dump gravel in my engine and see how it runs, but you can't really see it unless you take the whole motor apart and everything, and it's so there's definitely some ideas, you got to really think hard how you can make it look appealing and work. So you can't just take any idea and try to make a video on it without planning it out a little bit. So,
well, everybody's got their memory of who you are, and they have this conception of who you are, And when I first saw you at the UCC last year, seen you walking around, and I'm like, no way, that's the dude that put those NOS cans down his stack.
Wait, NOS? Oh, yeah. Okay,
the energy drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, and I looked, and I'm like, no, it
People don't like that. They don't like it when you dump fluids down your stack.
Yeah, because people with bucket stacks and put buckets over their stack.
Yeah, people are scared to get water in their exhaust. They'll put the bucket or the stack cover on. So it's like, well, why are you doing that? It's not going to hurt it. We'll go out and dump buckets of water down it.
And it's got to be at the right time, grabbing attention at the right time to the right crowd.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people and the people that don't like it want to view it as us just being attention thirsty. They love that term. So any hater, that's their go-to, you know. We're just attention thirsty. But it's like, if we didn't have YouTube, we'd still kind of be doing this kind of stuff. Like, just let's see what happens. Let's go out and I think if no one had a full-time job, they'd probably be doing kind of the same stuff. So, but yeah, we just want to have fun pretty much. I still have fun everything we do, you know. It's not like it doesn't feel like a job all the time.
Right.
So.
But I think my biggest thing personally would be like, I mean, you do something extravagant and then you thought, oh man, that was awesome. How do you top that?
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah,
How
I
do
got
you one up yourself.
Well,
Kind of had that idea with the 20-foot tall wheels.
right.
One up ourselves.
The 20-foot tall wheels, I had that idea for 2 years. Or, yeah, when we started all this, I wanted to do it. The idea was actually 100-foot tall wheels, or 50-foot tall wheels. So the truck is 25 feet off the ground. But we weren't quite able to, so the wheelbase is only so long, so you can only make one wheel so tall. And 20-foot was about the max. But we could go a little bigger. But that was supposed to top a lot of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll top it. We'll top it.
You're
But
confident in that, huh?
oh yeah,
Oh, we
we
will,
got
for sure.
I got a long-term plan. Maybe we'll talk about it here in a minute. But I got some stuff up my sleeve, I guess.
Oh, I love the conviction in your voice because I believe you. I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
So, I guess lately a lot of people have been, seeing you destroy trucks on
Right.
YouTube, and I guess it has, gotten, a lot of haters. You're taking trucks that some people could never afford and just destroying them for fun on YouTube is what they look at it. But I guess why did you pick doing that to trucks? I guess.
Yeah, so this progressed at an extreme rate. I did not want to do this. I don't like destroying trucks. I'll say that. I don't like taking my brand new Ford and going out and hitting a brand new bumper on it. I'd rather not do that. I'll be honest. I don't make enough money to replace a lot of that stuff. But I guess it all stemmed from. So if you watch, like, most of that was on Instagram. 'Cause I didn't make money on Instagram, and it was never the goal, honestly. But on Instagram is where I started. So I did all this just for fun, like, and what it turned into. So we put water down the stack. We put a garden hose in there and let it run for a while. And of course, no one sees the backstory. They don't see how long the hose was run or whatever. They just see me putting a hose in it, and then I start up and water sprays out. And I got, and I'm not joking, 5 actual death threats, legitimate death threats from that. Just people going out of their way to write comments like that to me who just put water down my hood stack. And like wishing my motor blew up because they want water to get in it. Like they think I'm abusing this truck. It's my truck. They think I'm abusing it, by putting water in the hood. It's like, it doesn't actually hurt it because they didn't know that the hood stack goes down and back up. Anyways, so people were getting real worked up over it. And I didn't really do anything about it then. I didn't know how to handle it or anything. I was like, oh, they're just a bunch of haters. And everyone's like, oh, you just got to ignore them. So, and then...
just ignore those death threats.
Right.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So, yeah, you'll see what this turns into. So then a couple months later, after my truck gets wrapped, I got a silver hood stack on it. It doesn't really match the wrap. So I got a guy that's going to send me a Swanky Steel, kind of sponsored a couple hood stacks for it. And so I was like, well, to attract attention to it, I'm going to destroy the old hood stack. So I'll shoot it. And my wife, at this point, this early in it, of course, she's not used to me. She's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm shooting my truck every day. It's like I'll go out and grab a sledgehammer or whatever. And
She's used to it now, though?
Yeah, she's used to it now.
But
the other day, we went out and dumped gas all over the Ford, and she's just washing dishes, looking out the kitchen window, and I'm out there setting the truck on fire. But
saw that.
So, anyways.
So did the 100,000 people on Instagram when I looked at it last.
Okay, yeah. So I grab a shotgun. I'm like, here, come film this for me. So she was the only person that could hold the camera, so just her and I. And she's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm shooting my hood stack. Don't worry, it's fine. It's just gonna go right through it. It's a 12 gauge shotgun with a slug. It's gonna go right through this thing. And I guess the hood stack, or she's like, yeah, it's gonna shatter your windshield. You're gonna have a broken windshield. And I'm like, no, that won't happen. So, and it was thick metal. I didn't realize this though, and I shot it, and the bullet instantly I see glass just spray everywhere. The bullet went through and ricocheted and bounced across the windshield and shattered glass everywhere. So then absolutely everyone freaked out. I just had thousands and thousands of comments, more death threats, and just people losing it. Like, you've never seen people this mad. Like, you haven't. And so it's like, how do we deal with this? Like, there's some stuff, and I get the ignore them, don't worry about them. They don't know any better. But there's some stuff that I don't think you can ignore. I think these people kind of need put in their place a little bit. So I was like, how can we, like, I completely get the enthusiast aspect, like, I want to keep my truck nice. I want it to look cool. I take pride in my truck. But I also don't think that you should value it so much you threaten to kill someone because they hit their truck. So, and the funny thing is, this was an accident at this point. I didn't mean to hit it. So it's like, I'm not even trying to hurt my truck, and y'all are, threatening me. So then I went and busted the whole windshield out with a baseball bat and chucked stuff at my truck. And what else did we bust out? A bunch of stuff.
Mirrors.
It turned into it progressed from that, if you see what I'm saying. So from then on, anything that we break is because people are getting very, very worked up about it. So I don't know if it actually helps, but I think those people, if a person is genuinely rude to every person they meet, or if they're that rude to me, I'm figuring they're pretty rude to most people. So if I can waste their time, for anyone else, it's just fun entertainment, I guess. But yeah,
I just think it's impressive as well. I mean, you must literally be glued to your phone because you respond to every single freaking comment. Like,
yeah. So
what is your problem? You have like
my
OCD. You can't like get
got, like,
right. True. Yeah.
You have to be like that.
I feel like I gotta respond, and then when I respond to these questions, people always respond back, or especially in these conversations with these haters, it'll go exponential, like 1,000 replies to this one comment. I average like 10 hours of screen time per day though, so, and I have 3 phones, so yeah. We'll have 5 hours of recording on one phone and 10 hours of comment reading on the other. But yeah, I'm on them because there's a lot of stuff I just don't feel like I can let it slide. Like, people get worked up about it, and if I can waste a hater's time, I don't mind it. They're not wasting my time because that's my job now. So
that is so awesome.
Paid for it.
Getting paid for it.
Right.
And having fun doing it.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell you're having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, do a lot of your friends want to get in your videos? And
well, I don't think we have. I mean, I have Clayton's my friend, and Jason is he's our welder guy and stuff. He's a pretty good mechanic. So them two are pretty much my only, like, decent friends.
Yeah.
We don't have many people that live by us, so it's like I guess I have a lot of friends, but they're the only two that I actually hang out with. So it's like, but yeah, people stop by a lot. But I don't have a lot of people like asking to be in videos because no one knows what they would do in a video anyway. Like, you want me to set the truck on fire, but yeah.
Well, like somebody trying to get their channel going.
Right.
And hey, can you promote me?
Right. And I actually, I haven't had, I thought I'd get a lot more of that, and like people wanting to be on the channel and like inviting me to come be on their channel and like brand deals and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people misconceive the hate that's in it, and they think that I might be bad for their channel.
Sure.
But
I've had a lot of people ask me, like my friends and stuff, like people on Snapchat, just, hey, ask Cody if I can come out for a video and blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
But
I don't really get that much, I guess, but I don't have time to read. I never read DMs, actually, ever. Only comments. I can't keep up with them. I get, and a lot of, it's just people sending me memes and stuff I've already seen. So it's like thousands. I get 500 a day probably. I can't even look at them. So
you just enjoy memes?
I do, yeah.
I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't enjoy the best memes?
I'll get the same one like 1,000 times though. So it's like, you seen this yet? Yeah, I saw the last one. But
like a year old too.
I appreciate though, like, there's a lot of my audience is, if you look at the demographic, there's actually an even amount of the range of age group. So like, I have the same amount of like 30-year-olds as 12-year-olds. People, a lot of people are like, oh, it's only 10-year-olds that watch your stuff, but I have a pretty decent demographic on that. But I really appreciate like when young people are interested in it, because it reminds me like they don't care if there's a lot of hate involved from these other people. They're just there to see like the cool stuff that we do. So it helps me like focus on that instead of trying to just work up a lot of people. But like we did picking up hay bales with the truck the other day.
Yeah.
So I feel like I gotta really tailor to that audience too, because I see parents will send me pictures of their 5-year-old kid watching my video, and it's like, okay, well, I'm glad. Like we try to keep it clean. You notice we never cuss or anything in our videos.
Yeah.
And it's like we try to really have a good content gang is our
mantra.
slogan. So yeah.
I got to tell you, I work obviously here at ATS Diesel Performance. I answer this phone all day long, and I get to meet a lot of great people. And, if your name gets brought up somehow, some way, you kind of hear their story about like how they know of you.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many people have like bought a Duramax because they
Really, yeah.
because
Right.
they saw the
Right.
stress test you put them through.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I would say they're extremely, for what we put them through, they're good. Really good. The only reason that, well, we have Monster Max, but that's because the whole suspension is rebuilt. We always have problems with the IFS all the time. It's like we literally cannot go, no matter what we do, it doesn't matter what we do, we're going to break a front end part. And we have these parts in buckets ready to go. Like we have control arms, ball joints, tie rods, all that stuff.
CV shafts.
It doesn't matter how heavy duty or how big they are. I won't say the brand names, but really hefty front end parts, and they just snap.
Yeah.
So it's like they cannot handle it.
I've owned a bunch of Duramaxes. I'm sure Dan has as well. But
Mhm.
I mean, I can't remember going through all these parts.
I know.
Even beat up parts.
But you didn't
like,
put square wheels on it either. So
I'm just saying, it's like that's what people
Right.
love seeing. They say, hey, if it can do that, it definitely can
right.
handle mine.
And the
Yeah.
powertrain is crazy. What the go-kart went through, pulling itself with just the front of the truck driving there, it's crazy. That we can hammer on it. We were holding the brakes and the accelerator all the way down, and that whole powertrain was just rocking back and forth, and it was just handling it. So, but we haven't tried it with any others either, so that's why we got a Cummins and a Power Stroke now. So, but there's a lot of testing to do yet. We'll figure it out.
But you're a big influence on a lot of people that don't know anything about trucks,
Right.
possibly, or maybe they do know a lot about it, and they're just wondering,
Yeah, right,
what the hell you're gonna do next?
right, yeah.
So, do you have any jobs outside of just doing videos, or is this like a full-time
This is it.
gig for everybody?
This is it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just Clayton, Jason, and I. So I do the like online aspect of it mostly, and the the acting on camera, and then Clayton's our camera guy.
Mhm.
So he's the one you see in the last video. You can see him running 40 mile an hour to keep up with the
Yeah.
truck. Well, it's like, so we can't stop. So he's got to run to keep up with it. And then the drive shaft broke, so he's hanging under there while we're driving, trying to videotape that. And then Jason's our welding and fixing stuff guy. We see stuff fixed every day. Stuff
wow.
breaks. So it's like,
It's unbelievable.
yeah. We jumped. The Cummins was fine. We jumped it once without bump stops, and the whole front axle, just everything. So maybe it's not as reliable as IVS. I don't know, but yeah, we're fixing stuff every day.
Mm-hmm.
So it does break your dad's heart that you're tearing up his old truck, or it
No.
doesn't?
My dad's a great guy, so he doesn't get offended when I break stuff. But yeah, he doesn't mind. I haven't actually destroyed that truck at all, really, though. So he would feel bad if it's not sentimental to him, though, if that makes sense. Like,
Okay.
he'd feel bad because it was a little wasteful if I just destroyed it right away.
Right.
But I don't think it's wasteful if I get all that fun out of it. So if like the go-kart was a complete win, I would have paid 10 times as much for that, not minded. So I was like, I bought that truck with the purpose of doing what I did to it. So that's the only one, though, that I've known what was going to happen. The others that got destroyed, I didn't intend for them to get destroyed. That was just other people that did that.
That just happened, huh?
Yeah, like
Right.
the red truck, we just came out one day, and I was like,
The red truck had some problems.
It
Or the
did,
other, yeah. It was a salvage title, and I thought, that's a really good price for a rust treat truck. And then I thought, well, it can't be that bad. It drove home fine. And then after, like, every day goes by, we find more and more stuff that's wrong with it. So it's like, well, this one's got to go. Yeah.
How would you have felt the other night if you would have put one of those spikes through that aluminum side box. It got close. I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
the
got
board,
really close.
one of the boards actually got sucked up and scraped the bedside just a little bit. You could see one scratch on there.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have minded.
No,
At this point,
we kind of knew it would.
at the beginning, it was really hard when stuff broke. Like, I didn't know how to deal with it. But now I'm talking like how to, get stuff fixed, I guess. Now, if I have a spike go through a bedside, either I can destroy the whole bed and have fun doing that, or, I got like Retro Customs and companies like that they're able to repaint stuff and get me fixed back up. So it's like, it's not a big deal. But we were pulling that thing. Well, we rammed it into the ice. We had to pull it out with the Cummins. It's like if the rope snapped and completely destroyed that $3,000 tailgate, I'd probably be a little upset. But there's a lot of stuff that happens we don't intend for it to happen.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the last time, but yeah.
So these trucks, some of them are expensive, like this 674. I think you said it was like $100,000.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, our Duramaxes, they do add up. So obviously, your income from YouTube must be pretty decent.
Oh.
No, it's like, what is it, like $10 a month?
Yeah, $9 or $10. When I first started, I was making about 10 cents, and I try to. There's a lot of competition out there, so I try to throw people off as to what we make. And I will say, if you do it wrong at what we're doing, you will lose. You cannot do this wrong. Like, it's extremely stressful. I have fun, but it's extremely stressful taking a truck that expensive and trying to make a video and not destroy a motor that's going to cost you $30,000 to fix. So It's like, we do have to be really careful. Like, you can make money, but if you do it wrong, it's really easy to lose money. So I think the red truck, the salvage title one, we lost completely on that because we didn't realize the problems that it had. So I bought it for a daily, but that didn't work out. But
That's what you buy all the trucks for.
yeah.
That's the excuse you give to the wife?
She doesn't mind. She likes that we get to drive a new truck every month. But yeah, I never really know. I got a plan for every one, but it always ends up changing after a month. But yeah, anyways, you can make. There's some videos like the Reaper wheels on the 4-wheeler did really, really good because it's a cheap little 4-wheeler. Whereas like this last truck I bought, it's going to take a while to ever pay itself off. But eventually I hope to work up to getting a tank or something. That'd be hard to break.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely get a tank.
Oh yeah, we will.
See how durable some sports cars are too.
That is awesome.
So for the most part, all your neighbors they're not really close to you. So you've pretty much got control over the road and the fields of where you do all your stuff.
Yeah, close in proximity. We have a good relationship mostly, like the farmers nearby and stuff. Like the last one, the hay bales, he's like, oh yeah, go up and grab a hay bale. You can just return it when you're done. It's like,
he's the one that came up and asked to ride in the 20-foot tall wheels.
Yeah, we had 20-foot tall wheels. He drives out in his tractor. He's like, hey, my wife wants to ride in that truck. Like, so the farmers love it. And the Amish people, I have a welding shop 20 feet down the road from my house, and I have 3 welding shops. So whenever we need metal or whatever, but they're always like, what are you building today? We'll bring up a 15th tank of argon gas we need replaced. And they're like, what are you welding? It's like, so, but yeah, we don't really have, there's like 10 cars a day that go down our road, but that increases daily because people want to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we'll see someone driving by real slow. It's like, but yeah.
Have there been any complaints from anybody local or?
Now, I don't know if this was local, but some hater got all irritated that we were polluting the environment with our tires on fire. We set the Ford on fire we put gasoline on the tires and lit it and then put it out 5 seconds later. No one saw that, but we put it out 5 seconds later. And then about a week later, we get some environmentalist guy. I was like, oh no, this is because I have 12 deleted trucks and everything and we're burning. No, he's like, this is actually, someone said you set tires on a truck on fire. And I just burst out laughing. I was like, that? Someone filed a complaint that we were burning tires. So it's just some really irritated person in their mom's basement, I guess, got upset. But yeah,
there was like no smoke or anything.
No, literally 5 seconds they were on fire. I should have let it burn all the way down though.
Yeah, We should have.
If I'm gonna get the notice either way, we should have made it worth it. I should have just burnt the whole truck.
I thought you just said you got to take it easy with that truck a little bit. you
Oh
know?
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll last a little bit. I like that truck though. Yeah.
So what do like previous owners or sellers of the trucks think of what you're gonna do with them?
Like, I think we bought 4 now. The go-kart, I think it was the first one. Now we didn't tell him that we were buying it for what we did. I think I was joking with my wife, but we didn't tell the actual guy. He was like, "Oh, good luck with it. I washed it and kept it all clean for you." And then I looked over at her and smiled. Okay, well that's good. And then he saw it a couple weeks later. I saw it on Facebook. He asked if I wanted another one to make into a go-kart. So he didn't care. It's like, and then Cole Motors, we got this.
Dude, he loved it.
This lowered square body from Cole Motors. And I tried to keep this. I was like, do I need to wear a wig and a mask when I go to buy this truck? Because this guy's going to be like, you can't have this because it's restored over 3 years and really nice truck. And we didn't buy that one to plan to make into a go-kart. I just bought it because it looked really good and I could end up doing something with it. And we walk in the barn, and in 2 seconds, his kids recognize us. I'm like, oh, crap, well. And then, so he's like, well, I guess my kids watch your videos, so I'll be watching. And then as the days go on, he's like, man, this stuff is awesome. I love my truck, seeing my truck get used and everything. So he's like, and then he's like, I get people messaging me, are you mad that he's going to destroy your truck that you spent this long restoring? He's like, no, because he paid me for the truck that I was going to sell.
Bingo.
Yeah.
He paid me. The difference is I didn't go in his barn when he was on vacation and steal his truck and then go destroy it. I paid him the money for the truck, and then it's my
you can
truck.
do anything you want.
So people get all worked up about it. So yeah, and then the other one, the red one, the same way. All his friends are like, well, you know what he's going to do with that, right? And he's like, he paid me for it, so I don't think it matters anymore. But
so are you like mad at your money, or what's the deal? You know, like,
what do you mean by that?
You know, you buy the stuff and then you destroy it. You know,
Right.
like that's just an old saying, like, oh, he's just mad at his money, you
Right.
know? But obviously, you're getting it for the attention. But I mean,
Well, no,
I do.
it's mommy and daddy's money.
Oh,
according to
yeah.
the
Yeah,
haters,
You're
I
mad
don't-
at mom and
Oh
dad's
man,
money.
do we need to get into that? So that's one thing with the haters. That's their go-to saying, is that, you know, my dad's. If people see this farm that I'm doing everything on, they know I didn't. They know I'm 21. I haven't built this barn and I don't have 160 acres. So they know it's either in the family or a friend or something. So the farm that we do everything on is my grandpa's, and so I think people think that my grandpa's letting me use everything and he pays for our, and it's really not like that. Like, I pay my grandpa to use all that. So I pay him like extra rent. So like we use his tractor here and there when we get stuck and stuff like that. My grandpa doesn't say, oh, you need the tractor today, you can have it for today. It's like, well, you know, it's like any other person. So I'm not really handed anything. Growing up, my dad made me work for absolutely everything that I had, like everything. I'm talking every penny. So I had to pay car insurance when I got my permit and everything like that. So it's like I was never handed anything. So it's really irritating when people say that. I think it's just their go-to thing because they have nothing else to say.
They ran out of things to say to you.
Right.
They pull that card.
And I think my comeback to that is if they think it's daddy's money, it must look really unaffordable to them if they think my dad is the only person that could afford it. So it's like they must be real jealous or something. But yeah.
Jealousy definitely is.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know what makes people so mad. And there's a lot of really mad people. I don't try to make people mad on purpose.
You're a button pusher, though. You push
Right.
certain
Oh, yeah.
people's buttons.
There's
somehow,
people that
some way.
irritate me, and I'll get them back for it. I don't know where things are going a lot of times, but like people make fun of my welds all the time, and I never took welding classes, so I didn't realize this whole time. I was like, I'm pretty sure I know how to weld. I didn't realize the whole time that there was a hole in my gas line, so I wasn't welding with any gas. And I only had to weld here and there, you know. I'm fixing little tiny stuff. It doesn't need to be that good. And, of course, that you got these weld professionals that are just going to go all out and, you know, say that you're a terrible person. Those welds suck. And So I made this video, you know, how to weld.
Yes.
This tutorial. And of course you plug it right into the wall and you use nitrous for your welding gas and all that.
The welds were actually pretty good.
The wire was good.
Yeah, the wire was good.
Anyways.
One of our customers said that he goes to one of the local colleges here, and they said that the professor brought that video up.
That's
in
hilarious.
class,
That's what tells me that people get it. Like people that have common sense and just normal people that get a joke when they see it, like that kind of video. So if people are getting upset about that, it tells me that something might be wrong. But yeah, it's funny how many actual classes that was taught in or shown in, not taught, but and then
What not to do.
right. But yeah, everyone gets a laugh out of it. It was shown in so many classes in schools. It's like I need to do more tutorials. I was gonna do how to shift an auto tutorial for beginners. How to shift an auto transmission.
There you go. You got to find that clickbait, and
Right.
your brain's always moving
Yeah.
like that in that direction.
Well, we don't clickbait.
Yeah, there's
but-
no
Okay.
clickbait around here.
Okay,
never.
no
Nothing.
clickbait.
I don't
nothing.
think anyone could find an actual clickbait video of ours. There's some stuff that, like when I first started, I'd say my Duramax was 2,000 horsepower.
It's a little stretched.
That was
but
kind of just to make people mad at first, because if you notice, people will say my truck is 500 horsepower, and everyone, no, it's not. Your truck doesn't make that much. So it's kind of a joke. Well, if you're gonna say my truck doesn't make that much, well, it just makes 2,000 horsepower then. So people get real frustrated. No, it doesn't. It's like, yes, it does. But
So you're doing it without clickbait, you know?
right, that's what's hard, because we can't. My motto is if I'm not excited about what we do, I'm not gonna make it look excited in the video, because then they're not excited when they watch it. So, well, I gotta be careful not to give up too much secrets, but
Well, that's the thing. People are studying you, you
right,
know?
right.
And,
So yeah,
but how are they going to... They
I
can
gotta
never be
keep
you,
I gotta
though.
keep adapting.
You
but-
can tell us all the secrets you want, but they're never going to be you. So
Yeah,
they
so-
don't have that, you know?
Right, like if we do something boring, and it ends up being boring, but I end up making it into a video, I'm not gonna put the title in all caps with a bunch of exclamation marks and try to promote it everywhere. I'll just post the video. If they want to watch it, they can. And if we do something that I think is really crazy, I'll put it in all caps and huge thumbnail and all of that. But yeah. So there's a lot of times people watch a video and they're like, well, that wasn't that exciting. I thought it was exciting, so that's why I put all caps. But yeah, we try to do only exciting stuff.
So you've really never been interviewed before, I take it.
Not
So-
really.
No, you've been a great interview. And moving forward from here, where do you see yourself in 1 year from today?
One
Oh
year
man,
from today.
where would I have seen myself a year from last year though? What were we doing last year? It was just before UCC, so
Yeah.
So let's rewind, I guess.
right.
You know, who were you right before UCC,
Like,
basically, last year?
I had the side in the Monster Max truck,
Okay.
so I bought those tires, those huge fertilizer spreader tires, and I planned on building that into a monster truck. So now that's finally happening. So that was one of my big goals, was to get into that scene, but I definitely didn't expect. Well, I knew that. See, I kind of planned for all this, because it's kind of exponential when I destroy a truck and I reinvest that into getting a bigger thing. So I guess I planned for this, but a year or a couple months before that, I didn't know about any of this. I didn't know any of this would happen. So from now, probably, I see us. That's a long time. Probably we'll have some tanks, at least a tank. There's some planes, but I don't think I'll fly. We'll drive them on the ground with mud tires.
Yeah.
We're gonna have. I want to have some interesting stuff though, stuff that people enjoy watching. So, and then we plan on getting. We have a decent farm right now, but it's kind of limited as to what we can do because there's crops in the summer. So I want to get something with some cliffs and creeks and swamps and everything. Those swamps that you can't even like get anything across at all. So, yeah, I want something with a lot of, and then like a burnout pad or something. So hopefully we have a farm, something that we can actually do. We're really limited right now with the land we have, and it's a lot of land still, but so hopefully we have a farm and some different machines and stuff that we can use. So, yeah.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on you. That's for sure.
So you're here picking up one of our Dominator transmissions
Right.
for the Monster Max. How is that truck coming?
really, really good. So we dropped it off at this shop, D&D Patty Tire. He sells patty tires. If you guys don't know what those are, it's like a mud tire with a tread that's 10 inches tall. You know, it's like a saw blade. So he sells tires, but he also builds mud trucks on the side. So he's really, really good at it too. He's one of the few people left that can like just start off of nothing, not even have blueprints or a plan or anything, and he just knows it. Like, so we dropped it off, and in 2 weeks, he almost had that thing driving. So once we get this transmission there, it'll probably be done. He's just putting like light bars and stuff on right now, but
It's only been there like what, a month?
yeah,
Two?
he's just waiting on me all the time.
Mhm.
Like I don't have to wait on him at all. He's also got our dent side Ford. He's building that. So, but yeah, so it's a built transmission. It was gonna go in the Drag Max, but that truck ended up living a short lifespan. So yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that we're gonna be putting on it, or?
Yeah, so now this was my first truck, like I said, so let's just say that any work done on that thing was probably not up to par with how it should have been done, because I did it all myself with no knowledge. So I bought this turbo and never got any tuning for it. Now, this was just off an eBay turbo. It's a Garrett 68 millimeter. I bought it, and the gasket kit got blown away in the wind. So guess what I did? I saw this turbo with no gaskets, and nothing leaks yet. But so I did get the spread a gasket in the tube, dumped that all over. But pretty sure that didn't work in high heat application. So that's not done quite right. And then obviously it's not tuned right. It just rolls coal everywhere. It does make 2,000 horsepower, but. So we're going to get one of your guys' the whole air kit and everything. And then the up pipe is probably about to crack like a kazoo on the white truck as well, or like it did on the white truck. Those blow out where the EGR branch is at. So we're going to get all the piping from the manifold up to the turbo and everything, hopefully. And then motor mounts, because it's flopping around like a fish in there.
Cool. Do you have an ETA or a deadline that you got to get this truck done by?
Yeah, so at Ultimate Callout Challenge, which isn't really, it's actually not a mud truck event. So it's for more trucks with a lot of power, obviously. But that's just, it's my favorite show, I guess. Before I ever started any of this, that was a show that I always went to every year, and it's really professional. I noticed, like, you have like, well, I don't want to mention them, but there's some other shows that aren't quite as professionally ran, and there's a lot of police involved and stuff like that. Ultimate Callout Challenge doesn't have any of that. There's like a couple cops here and there, but nothing, like, they don't need law enforcement to keep it running properly. So it's really professional, and there's not a lot of people that are just there to go crazy. But so yeah, we're bringing Monster Max there when it's done. We have a booth. It barely fits in the booth, so we're gonna have to put a tent under the truck or something. But yeah, so that truck will be there, and then we got to get a gooseneck yet to haul it there, because the tires won't fit on one gooseneck. So no one knows. Everyone's seen the truck, but they don't know what's gonna go on the truck. So that everyone's gonna love it. I think it'll be fun.
Awesome.
And you're gonna unveil it there, basically?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Big black tarp, and we'll have 10 guys pull it off and fire come up and everything. But we are gonna have propane coming out of the stack probably in the version of fire. But so yeah, we'll reveal it there and take it home and finally tear up some stuff with it. That truck, if you think what we do now is crazy with a normal truck, imagine what a truck on axles that are 20 times as big could handle. So these are 20-ton axles and front and rear steer and tires that'll never get popped. So it's like we could run over every single thing on the farm. So that'll be a lot of fun. We get stuck right now with every truck we have. There's this mud pit that you will not get anything through. So this truck is bigger than the mud pit. So it's like we need a bigger farm. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, Cody needs a bigger playground. There's no doubt. Maybe go hang out with that dude that owns 1320.
Cletus McFarland, yeah.
You guys-
Yeah, we're going to his Cletus and Cars in Indy next month too. So anything with a burnout pit, those are fun.
You're there, huh?
Yeah. I haven't been to one yet. I'm looking for one. No one likes to have them for some reason because they turn the road black, or the parking lot.
Well, they're supposed to be black.
Right.
So just
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank both of you guys for coming up here and
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh yeah.
joining our podcast.
Hopefully the world got to know you a little bit better.
Right. Yeah, we never really talk on camera about that much, so it's fun.
Well, thanks for your time. We'll see you at the UCC.
Thanks for having us.
You
All right.
bet.
Awesome.
Don't forget, Diesel fans, make sure, well, most of you probably are following Whistling Diesel, but if you're not, definitely check them out on Instagram and YouTube, and you can see the really cool things that they're doing, each week, each month. It's always great to see the creativity they have with their builds. And also, make sure and follow Dan's Diesel Performance on Instagram and Facebook. They've got some tax time sales going right now. Check out their drop-in turbos. Those things are really popular. They got a whole lineup for different years and makes. Till next time, keep the shiny side up.